So I had a buyer consultation the other day, and the client asked me, you know, if money was no issue, where would you live? Where is your dream location? Because they're coming from somewhere else. And without them even damn near finishing the question, I said Towne Lake easy. And they were like, man, that was fast. But in all seriousness, Towne Lake is probably one of the most unique and special communities that we have here in the greater Houston metro. It is just northwest of downtown Houston in the Cypress area, for those of you who are not familiar. And it features luxury builders from entry level all the way on up to uber luxury, like some of these that you may be able to see in the background behind me. But yeah, we're gonna just go in deep dive as the sun sets on this community and you're running out of those final opportunities to get brand new construction here. I wanna make sure that I show you just how special this place is. If that sounds good, stay tuned. And one of the things that is most special about this community has to be the centerpiece of the whole community, which is the 300-acre lake that runs throughout this community. And it's just one of those things that a lot of places have lakes here in Houston. A lot of communities, Meridiana has probably like 20 of them, but none of them are to the level of this size and give you the ability to do motorized boating. Everybody will kind of let you do some kayaking, you can do catch and release fishing. But this was the first time, and I remember it like it was yesterday, the first time we came out here and we were sitting and eating dinner at Sam's Boat behind me, and a baller family came from through that little peak back there, parked in their little dock spot, and then they went up to Sam Boats and damn near ate right on side of us. And I was just like, that gotta be the most baller stuff that I'd ever seen in my life at that point in time. And so to have this as a feature, we're also standing in front of the amenity center over there, which gives you kind of like a lake house feel. They got some beach volleyball, some playground stuff over there, pool, all the amenities that you need. And then this in-community restaurant center, as well as you have some light shopping over here. You got some bakery stuff over here. You got Crumble around the corner. You got your grocery stores. Everything that you basically need is in your community here, and they're one of the best people to do it, considering that they are not super huge. This one comes in at somewhere around 2,500 acres, which is a little bit smaller than where we live right now in Meridiana, but it is packed full of amenities and luxury touches all throughout. But enough of that. The reason why many of y'all are looking at this channel is to see if the houses here can really do it for you. But I just want to show you a little bit about what you can get from an amenity package, because this is one that will rival anywhere in the world, in my opinion, just based on what I have seen for amenities in these types of communities. But Towne Lake is and forever will have a chokehold on my heart, because that feature behind me, this amenity package behind me, we still to this day come out here and eat, even though it's an hour away from us, because we just love the vibes over here, and it's easy to see why we love it so much. But what do you think? And as we head on over to the model homes, so you can check out some of those beautiful options that you still have left out here, the makeup of the community is not too dissimilar from many of the other luxury communities around the metro. You're gonna have these beautiful winding roads, because this has been being built out for so long. You now have some established trees, but the setup is very much similar to most of the big communities around here, where you're in Towne Lake, but you may be in the Arbor Shore section of Towne Lake, right? There's just tons and tons, dozens and dozens of sections within this community. As I said, it is nearly 2,500 acres, and each of them kind of have their own little pocket park or their little access to their little section of lake, so on and so forth. There's a lot that just gets packed into the design of this place, so everybody doesn't feel like they're basically being shafted on the amenities of it all. But yeah, it's beautifully designed. The variations between the different style of builder, the different style of home. You have a makeup of townhomes all the way on up to, like I said, uber luxury with lakefront property that has your own boating dock. You have that much variety here in this community. And so it is definitely one thing that is not too dissimilar from the other ones, but this 300-acre lake that you got in the smack dab in the center of this place just makes it like none other here when it comes to living in Towne Lake. But we're about to hit a couple more corners and check out what models we can get you in. Some of my favorite salespeople are here as well, and so hopefully we get to run into them. We'll talk about taxes and schools and all that other stuff that you guys care about on this channel when we get to the next point. And as we mentioned before, this is the sunset of this community, and even this one, as I take you into this model home, this is getting ready to be turned over. As you can see, the offices behind me are no longer there. They got Susan in the front bedroom, kind of making that her pseudo office, as they've already sold this one and they're down to their last like 3 or 4 opportunities. We got the keys, so we're going to go and check out one of those inventory options that they have available. But yeah, Newmark is one of the fan favorites. That's actually the last home that I did sell over here was a Newmark, and so love their product. And then hopefully we'll get a chance to go in there and check out that inventory and let me know what you think about that one. But yeah, let's go and check out this last Newmark. The decor on a Newmark home is always just crazy good to me. Man. Crazy good. So whoever bought this model, lucky. They did a great job in here, getting some inspiration. But yeah, gorgeous model in those final days over here for Newmark. I believe Coventry and some of the other builders that are here have a little bit more availability left. I know the really big ones like Partners and Builders and Ravenna on the end have some more options as well. We'll get to those. But right now I just want to take this one in. Gorgeous. Pretty good size. Baby Cheney has that bed now. Nice room. Where I stand corrected. If I call Cheney a baby now, she'll probably get a little bit upset. So my big girl Cheney has that bed. And then just lovely finishes, tiles to the top. Stuff that you expect. Pretty and unique kind of floors. Stuff that you expect. Yep. They did it. So we'll go down, talk numbers on stuff like this also, because this is closeout, what you can expect for pricing in the future if you were to try to get a resale of this. Just we're gonna touch over all that, because like I said, we're in the sunset of this community here now in Towne Lake, and that's the conversation that you kind of got to have with yourself if you're not going to catch one of these last few opportunities. So before we get over to the inventory, we're gonna go check that out. It's actually not too far from where my old client bought over here. I'll give her a call off camera to see if she's at home to go and stop by. Shout out to you over here in Towne Lake. You know where we are. I'll test to see if you're still watching the videos. But before we get over there, something to kind of note, the HOA over here is going to be $1,900. That's creeping up into much higher than you are going to pay in most places, and there are some variations to that. So if your section had, let's say, its own gate, you would pay a little bit more for that. If you had your own pool, you're going to pay a little bit more for that. There's going to be amenity stacks that come with your HOA. Some sections over here, for example, you have a forced, like townhomes, I believe they have to pay for lawn care, so they would pay even more than some of these places, even though their house is a little bit smaller, because there's some tacked on cost with living in that specific section. So it depends on where you are. You're gonna see a range of, the lowest that I've seen over here is like 1,700, and the highest that I've seen has been closer to like 2,500 a year, which is still not bad considering all the amenities that you do have over here, but that's something to keep in mind. The other thing, that even though this is on its way out, the property tax rate over here is still 3.48, 3.49. And so just kind of as it stands right now, that is still one of the highest property taxes that you can get in a luxury community. Now, as we'll talk about schools and things in the next segment, you are going to be tied to some of the best schools, and that requires high tax dollars, and you want that when it comes to the overall values of this area. But unfortunately, that's going to be much higher than most places out here. And so with a price point that's going to be creeping into the 5, 6, 7, 8, 900,000 here pretty easily, you're going to be paying a little bit more in taxes than you would if you were to come in, for example, be my neighbor in Meridiana for the same price home. But enough of that. Let's go and check out that inventory home and let me know what you think. So in here, upgraded carpets, nice elevation that gives you that extra natural light. Sunken shower, that's an upgrade with the tile bottoms. And one of the things that I can definitely say over here in this community is their inventories. I know just from a design center attendee standpoint that there's a lot of money that they put into these builds. They're not doing that entry level sort of thing that a lot of builders do when they're going for the full-on inventory, because they want you to basically come in here and feel like you're not going to need to do a bunch of products or a bunch of projects to get the house up and run into where you want to see it. And so they are gonna have elevated cabinets, they are gonna have hardware, they're gonna have some touches in here that I know from a design center standpoint are going to be adds that other people just probably wouldn't do. Or instead of giving you a range hood, for example, you might get a microwave in a house that is 500 plus thousand. But here, that's not gonna be the case more times than not with a Newmark, just because they are that more luxury builder here in the Houston metro. But back into the house. This little office area, and then you come into the kitchen. Again, upgraded lighting packages. You do have pendant lights that may or may not be your style, but I do know that they paid more for like these sinks for this countertop. That's going to be a few levels up. Usually a different style of island or a different shade of island is an upgrade for most builders. To have the configuration of having these things off to the side is usually an upgrade. So yeah, a lot of features kind of packed into this price. And then they do that Newmark thing that Newmark does, I think, the best, which is give you that interesting family room detail like many of their plans do here. And it's just, love it. Love it, love it, love it. Carry the detail outside to the patio, so it makes it feel like one cohesive space, indoor, outdoor. Not a super big backyard, but definitely beautiful. And then you got your peekaboo. But before we go down or up there, let's check out the primary and see what choices they made in here, again with the upgraded carpet. You do have a tub and a shower. Some linen. Toilet. And this is the closet. Now this is a 45-foot product. So this is not a super big, super wide product, but when you come in here, you're feeling how much bigger this feels than the standard 45-foot product, in my opinion. Again, I just love some of the details that bring your eyes up. They do it really well. And I would say it's not many people on a smaller footprint that can compete with Newmark from a luxury standpoint, because it just gets super simple when you're looking at some of the layouts and some of the touches. The ceilings don't go as high with many builders. The touches aren't as upscale for many builders, but Newmark seems to get it right more times than not. Texas game room. Now, if you were building this, you probably could have made a media room and a little game room over here, because they're semi-custom. They'll let you do whatever you're willing to pay for. Another decent sized room. Another decent sized room. So for perspective, this is about $2,450 on square footage. And right now, as it stands, they have this listed at like $515, $520. We got in Meridiana, just to kind of show you the differences in values and things of that nature. We got in Meridiana 2,700 or so square feet, and we are significantly lower than that, but you are paying a premium to be in Cypress, in one of the best locations. You're just off of 290. You're close to shopping, restaurants, the premium outlet mall, movie theaters, grocery stores. You got everything you need over here, and you're paying a premium because of that, both in taxes, both in HOA, as well as the price of your home. But not many people can say that they have all of those amenities in and around their home like you do here. But just to give you a reference, you're paying a little bit more for less square footage out here to be in Towne Lake compared to some of the other communities in the metro. But yeah, if you decide to stop by, tell Susan that I sent you, and we'll make sure that we get you taken care of and get you the best price possible. One thing that I can also say is, if with any of these builders right now, if the offer is even remotely reasonable, there's a high likelihood that we're gonna get that thing accepted. So don't be afraid to shoot your shot. Now, if it's a crazy shot, I'll be like, that's a little crazy. Do you really want this thing? But if it's a real shot and you really want it, let's see what we can do to get you that home that you want right now, because this is one of those times of the year where it's the best time to just shoot your shot, any shot that you got. So up next we have Coventry, and like the previous situation, I believe they have one lot left and the rest are going to be inventory opportunities. We're going to go and check out the Colleyville. They have two of these, I believe, coming here in the next couple months or so, between that range of like 630 and 665, depending on different upgrades. This one is going to be for sale, but this one's going to be nearly $800,000 for a 50-foot product, just because of so many upgrades that they've put in it. But I want you to see it and let me know what you think. Super pretty. And for me personally, I think the 50-foot product is just a good width for most people. You know, if you got a bigger family or you got older kids, then you probably would want a 60-foot or something a little bit wider. But for most people, a 50-foot, 55-footer is like perfect width, to where it can feel tall, feel elegant, give you all the spaces that you need. And I think that the Colleyville does that. And it looks like my girl Nicole, who is over here in other sections, is having a meeting, so I'll protect their privacy. Love the bay window. That's usually standard for them. It's a great closet. And we saw the other side of that connected to laundry earlier. But yeah, Coventry, man, they've been coming in and like stealing the show for many of my buyers that weren't necessarily looking for them just because of the, you know, brand name recognition or whatever, wanting a Highland or wanting a Perry or wanting a Weston for whatever reason. Coventry has been like coming in and taking people's trap, for lack of better terms, over here over the last, I would say, 6 months for me and my clients. They've been really a big contender here, and they do a gorgeous product. My experience with them have been great. And so if anybody asks me if I like them, I'm just like, I love them. I got no drama with them. And they usually have great layouts that people really, really just identify with. game room. Oftentimes, what Coventry does, they'll give you like a little bar separation, so it kind of makes this area a little bit more functional. You can't have this closed off, but I think I kind of like it. Well, I say that. I kind of like it open because we don't really watch a ton of movies by just me and myself with the missus. And so it would be kind of cool if Chandler was able to play or watch TV and vice versa. We could kind of flip back in that space and still be in the same area. But if you were watching a serious movie, you probably would want that closed off. But this is typical Coventry style right here. And like many of these builders, if something isn't quite your style or your taste, there's books of tiles, books of carpets, books of countertops, books of doors. No joke. But no, there's 10 different doors that you could have. That sort of level of availability to customize it and kind of make it your own. Although they are a more production builder, you can have some customized touches in here. In fact, I got a client that's building one right now in Pomona that is going to be chef's kiss. And I got another client that is building one in around the corner from here, Dunham Point, that I think will also turn out super lovely as well. Completely different style. So I think that, like with any of these builders, you can get whatever you want. And I just like the variety of builder that you can get in this community, because it really changes how this whole area just looks and feels, because not all the builders are doing basically the same thing. And then on the lines of shooting your shot, like we talked about in the previous segment, Coventry is one of those builders that I've for sure, especially on inventory homes, been able to get a ton of extra money or incentives towards the, removing the price down, lowering the price, getting more closing costs, getting more buy down rate for my clients. There's been a lot that I've been able to get structure deal wise from on the build side and inventory with Coventry. So like I said before, shoot your shot. You get one shot to go in there and really strike them and get a deal that makes sense for you. And I'm down to do that every day of the week. Like I said, I've said, if it sounds a little crazy, then I'll be like, all right, it sounds a little crazy. But for the most part, nothing is really off limits with many of these builders right now, because it's just that time of year. But even when it's not that time of year, I'm always down to ask. But what did you think about the Colleyville plan? This is gorgeous. It's a little over 2,800 square feet. Game room, media area that could be shut off for a true media space. 4 bedrooms. Nice size patio, lovely area downstairs, living room area, true office space down there, all the spots that you need. What you think? If you had to pick between this one and the Newmark, which would you pick? So as I was in there, it sounds like they just sold the lot. So they are down to inventory, and they are ranging from about 2,500 square feet. You can get that at about 500,000. So a little bit less expensive than the Newmark option on the narrower footprint. This is a 50-foot, where Newmark was at a 45s that they had available. And you can get this plan, the Colleyville, for as low as, I said before, $635 currently. So definitely some deals and some opportunities on the inventory side. That is what you are down to with these two builders as far as what's left. I'm looking at the old models. This I know was a David Weekley model that is sold. I can't remember if that was another Newmark, if that was Highland. It's looking very Highlandish right now, but they have again been converted and sold since we were last out here just a few short months ago. So things are moving, and this is that last opportunity. Along those same lines, because this community is nearly completely built out, Townhomes recently sold out, so there's no more townhomes over here. What you're looking at now is a fairly robust market for resales. Now, it's not going to be a ton because once you kind of get in Towne Lake, you don't really ever want to leave Towne Lake, so it's not going to be booming and hundreds upon hundreds upon hundreds of listings. But if you're looking in this area and you kind of keep your eye on it, you will have opportunities to get resale opportunities up here. They got multi-million dollar properties on the lake. You got entry-level stuff. You have a couple townhomes that I've seen on my recent search for some clients out here as well. So whatever you need, you'll be able to get it. But if you do happen to miss on these last few new construction options that you see behind me, then you will have an opportunity to do some resale in the community because they have pretty much been completely sold out, minus this last final little section. But yeah, that's this section right now. Now we're going to step on up into price point and size and go and look at some of the more custom builders and some of the builders that go to a wider footprint over here in the community. So we should still have Ravenna and we should still have Partners in Building. I believe Coventry even sold their 60-foot model that was just around the corner. When I was driving around earlier, it looks like they had taken up their little office area and was starting to do the build out for their garage. So we'll see if my favorite builders over there with Partners in Building is still there, and if Ravenna is over there and has some more for us to see today. But I'm enjoying the tour. What about y'all? Is Towne Lake standing up to what I said at the beginning of this video? I think so, but let me know what you think. All right, so Brett, my guy's in here for Ravenna Homes, and we're gonna check out this model now. They have this one in Artavia. I think I did a partial walkthrough of this one, but this one is looking a lot prettier down here in Towne Lake, or up here in Towne Lake rather. And we'll go check this one out, and then he has a few more inventories. He also has a few more lots on the end that he can build on, but they're gonna be specific lots because they have repetition laws. Like all of the major communities here, you can only have so many houses that are the same, have same elevation, same color bricks, so on and so forth. And so we have a couple lots left to build on, but this is one of the models that they do have as an inventory. We might go check that one out after this video, but let me know what you think. Gorgeous. Now, Ravenna is one of those builders, and they got some people in here that they're gonna show this house to, so I'll be considerate. We'll get to this little secret half story above us, but they're one of the builders that does really big one stories. And so this one, I believe, is nearly 4,300 square feet. There's a couple builders here that specialize in these expansive big one-story plans, and Ravenna is one of them. I would say Perry Homes, David Weekley, Ravenna are kind of my three go-tos if you just really love big one-story plans. Those are some of the ones that'll get you over that 3,800 to 3,900 plus square foot. And this one, I believe, like I said, is 4,300 square feet on this one. Let me just have it Decorated really nicely. I'll try to avoid some of these people in here touring. Respect their privacy. Details. The details. Crazy details. Game room. Tons of natural light frames in the patio, which I love when these big one-stories do that. Patio's wrapping the whole way. Another dining little nook in case you didn't want to use the formal. Hello, how y'all doing? Walking in here, another bedroom. Huge. And then we'll go and check out what I believe is the prime area, and then we'll go check out the super spot up there. Ooh, the ceilings on this thing. Yeah, this is gorgeous, my goodness. Rotunda in the bathroom. Oversized shower. Ravenna. Now they're one of the builders, they're one of the few builders at this point that I have not closed a new build with. I think I've had one or two buy resales in other markets, but never a new build, and this one is. It's a pretty one for sure, but like, look at then you bring on down, the views on here are just, the views and vibes are just immaculate. You got a true media room up top. Now, I personally will probably want these either blacked out or no windows at all, but you could then probably make this a bigger game room with the windows, so that's the sacrifice, but huge. And then so you don't have to leave the fun, you got your little half bath over here. But yeah, pricing for this Ravenna, you're gonna be 900,000 to 1.2. Of the inventory one that he has on this one, it's gonna be like 950. But if you got it and you're looking in this area, this is a good option, especially if you want a big one story. Friends, that was a house there. Y'all know, for those of y'all that aren't new to the channel, you know, I love me a big one story. Whew. And that just did it. So, like I said, they have a couple lots available, 2 or 3 that you can build on. It's gonna be specific as far as what you can put on them because of, you know, this section is almost built out. So everything that's gonna be is already here, right? And so You'll have to work within those confines if you want to build. If not, they do have a few of various sizes of, you know, high 3,000s all the way on up into the 4,000 square foot products that you can buy in the inventory. But yeah, that's the availability that we got right now. Again, on them, we're doing 900 to about 1.2. All right, so let's go around the corner, check out Partners and Builders to see if my girl is still over there, and we'll wrap it up for the day. So really quick, before we head into this gorgeous model home, I want to say that you've been probably watching this video for 20, 30, maybe even 40 minutes now, and you still haven't hit me up. No call, text, email, comment section, carrier pigeon. No way of hitting me up to say, hey, Aaron, when the time comes and it's time for me to move me and my family to a beautiful home, that I'm going to hit you up. The fact that you haven't done that is honestly hurting my feelings. And I'm gonna give you a couple seconds to make that right. Come on, we're in one of the prettiest communities off of one of the most beautiful amenities that Houston has to offer, and you're seeing it here on this channel. Come on. But in all seriousness, I wanna be there when it really matters, when it really counts. If you want to do like most of my clients are doing right now, go out, check out these model homes, and then when the time comes to write that contract, hit me up and say, hey, Aaron, you're my guy. Put my info down, and that way the sales team that are here can hit me up and make sure that when the time comes down to it and it really matters and the money's on the line, that you're getting the best deal, the best incentives, and that you are not overpaying no matter where you are. Even if Towne Lake isn't the place, I want to be that go-to for you. But in order for me to do that, you either have to hit me up or put my info down when you go on that first tour. But without further ado, let's hop back into the video. All right, this is a custom option. They do have room to build. We got lots that are going to be waterfront, never ever ever going to have back neighbors, and you also have some lots on this side of the model home row where you will have some neighbors. Pricing is going to be anywhere on an 80-foot lot, which this is an 80-foot product. You're going to be anywhere from 1.1 to about 1.5, give or take, from waterfront lot to not waterfront. But I just want you to see this absolutely stunning home that they have here, fully custom. You can spend as much as you want to spend over here, fully custom. All right, let's go check it out. So that was an absolutely stunning model. But if you hate everything, every square inch of that house, it doesn't matter. Why? Because they are truly a custom builder here in this metro. And so every portion of this house, from exterior to interior, number of beds, number of baths, number of offices, height of ceilings, all of the things that you want to pick in a house, you got to get the design approved by the architect of the whole development. But you can do it here in this community. But with some of the best builders around, still some luxury lots that you can build on, and one of the best locations tied to Cy-Fair ISD, which is one of, if not the top school district that people seek out year in and year out in the Houston metro. With all of that, with 300 acres of a boatable lake, with amenities, restaurants, shopping, grocery stores, everything on site, it's no wonder why this has stolen my heart and will never give it back. But what did it do for you?